be the beacon through these turbulent seas. save someone this time. For him, I will be the beacon through these turbulent seas. will be the beacon through these turbulent seas.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Throne of Dawn Season 1, powered by Miko Gaming Official. We are back into the banger, and let me tell you something, guys. It's about the semi-finals, day number 2. We'll be grabbing up our second finalist. Yesterday, it was a big gameplay against this loud echoes. I mean, the Crimson Echoes, of course, but in the end, it was a 3-1 victory for Pig to grab up the slot for the finals. And now, the second finalist is yet to come, and we have two names with us. It is one is the anti-vegetarian versus none other than team Was the Throne. Both of the teams played so well in the quarterfinal stage and previously as well. So now we're gonna see the fire in their eyes, in their mind, to obviously play out this BO5 series. It's your boy STZ in the casting disc, and with me is none other than my friend, my co-caster Sarah will be joining me, and we are heading into the draft stage. And we can see that already Was the Throne getting up their first pick in this BO5 series, as well as they'll be grabbing up the CC into the ban list. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, Ash, and thank you for the wonderful introduction as always. And like you mentioned, that yes, Watch the Throne versus Anti Vegetarian, two amazing names to be casting for, and a very exciting match at that. And yes, we are into the draft. We can already see the CC getting banned out right away, most possibly a target ban for the
Thorns
side of Anti
remain,
Vegetarian,
short petals
while
all along.
Team A Veg having banned out the Lancelot for Watch the Throne. So obviously, it's kind of a meta ban situation right now, and a few of those target bans as well, since these teams are known to be playing a very set composition, a very staple draft in each of their matches, and I think that is what each of these teams will be aiming for right now.
Yeah, indeed. And now they're going for those, you can say, Ishanshin ban is much needed here because it's more like team Watch the Throne is about to grab it up because they banned out the CC. Even the Lancelot is banned at this point, so it's more of a
My
like you can go with
kids,
Ishinshin
your
or the
TV
Hayabusa, the
read
both of the
immortality
meta jungler at
and
the scene.
death.
But no, we're going to see a ban onto the Alice here. Of course, they'll be grabbing up the Ishinshin. They got the first pick there, but from the side of Team Anti-Vegetarian, a lot of heroes are open at this moment. They can go for the Esmeralda, they can go for the Arlot ban as well,
Welcome to
but it will
Quartz
be a Grok,
Castle,
guys. Of
Target
course, you
7.
don't want to get hindered by the Grok CC, as well as the Kathot Kacha is open, so you might go for the Kathot Kacha ban into the roam. But at the same time, Sarah, a lot of mid laners being open at this point. Jushin, a very, the most banned mid laner in the MPL Indonesia scene. So do you think like we're gonna see the ban onto Jushin, or it will be the first priority from any of the team side?
I mean, Team Watch the Throne, I haven't seen them play the Jukshin as much, mostly because she stays banned in 90% of the games, and they might just ban it out as the third ban right here. As for the side of A-Wedge, though, definitely they're going to prioritize that Jukshin pick if they do get it. However,
I will choose my
Team
own
Watch the
path.
Throne might not allow that by actually letting Lei pick up that hero, since their, the team comp is mostly a very team fight oriented composition most of the time. So Team Avid here does have the opportunity to ban out on the Egyptian if they don't want some extra headache for themselves. Otherwise, of course, they can just go in for some kind of a other meta ban on towards the mid lane. That's gonna be the Angela.
Yeah, the picking up the Angela here. The banning out the Angela here, as I mentioned before, the Arlot is a necessary ban at this point. But what I'm seeing at the panel, it is Popple and Koopa, which is really not in my mind anytime because I never seen a Popple and Koopa in the
Castle of Iron.
community scene so far. But
Prepare
it's
for
just a troll,
fear.
guys. We're going to see the Gatotkacha. I told you, like Gatotkacha is one of the ace pick of Maru, so he just went for the Gatot, and at the same time might be trading out that Ishin Shin to the anti-vegetarian as well as the Chushin. Two picks might come up, or maybe they can go for the Ishin Shin Kimi.
Exactly, like they could definitely deny Lei of that Kimi pick since he has been playing that hero for so many games this season, and the Kimi pick is actually a very good S tier mid laner, I would say. And like you mentioned, with the Yusenshin, definitely a good combination. And then just pick up two fighters onto the EXP as well as the gold, so that it just makes your team comp much more tanky. But okay, I think they're just gonna, play it safe. They're gonna lock in onto the Chukshin and the Hylos combo instead.
High loss. Okay, that's something. New for me against the Gatot Kacha because it's more.
I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's okay to have, you know, we haven't seen the Hylos in the higher stages so far. Only a few teams have been playing it as a standard comp, and maybe Anti-Vegetarian is just good at that. But other than that, we can see Lei once again locking in onto his Kimi, so that's a very strong Garot Kacha plus, Kimi combination in the mid lane, and then Senti will be going on towards the EXP with the Lapu Lapu, which means the Avage here can still lock in onto the Esmeralda if they do want to.
Yeah. And I talked about the Kimi thing, and it's more like you could have gone with that Ishinshin Kimi trade for your side, but then you just chose out that Jukshin and the high loss combo. At the same time, they went for the Lapu Lapu. It's a flex, but okay, they went for the counter. They might be thinking that Senti is going for the Lapu Lapu EXP, but it's obviously, it's in the hand of Senti though. At the same time, it can be changed anytime they want. But it's more like La Passion is so good with the Esmeralda. We have already seen that thing. Alot too. He grabbed up a maniac that day. Now it will be a Ruby ban coming out from the side of team anti-vegetarian. So it's more like the first set of anti-vegetarian. They really look up with those trades, with those trump cards from the opponent's side, and they play very safe. Then from the next set, they really play with the minds. That's what I got to know in the last quarterfinals against STES. So let's see. Anti-vegetarian is cooking up something in their side. They banned out the Ruby. They're and a must thing that this Lapu Lapu is going into the EXP. They're banning out those Ruby and those options which can go for the goal lane fighter.
Exactly. So, like the Ruby is a good choice onto the gold lane, and then they are, and instead, What's the Throne is banning out on the Nathan, a very, very broken gold laner right now. Like every single game, we've been saying it in the rank games or in the tournaments, literally everywhere. And the only counter he has is Lapu Lapu, but then Lapu Lapu has already picked up. So, what we might see from the side of Watch the Throne is possibly a Bane gold lane. It might be coming out since they have only two magic damage dealers so far. But then again, judging the fact that it's Lokit, he does prefer those ranged marksmen on towards the goal lane. Instead. So anti-vegetarian here did ban out on the Hayabusa, definitely a good choice, but still Agrey can also go in for the Fredrin right here, judging from the fact that anti-vegetarian might pick up the Yusenshin for themselves now that they have two good frontliners. But
Hey.
that's off the board as well. Yep, that gets banned out.
Yeah. It's obvious ban coming in. You banned out the Hayabusa. There was a big chance that you can go for the Ishinshin. But at the same time, they can actually go for the, Fedrin as well because they got the Jushin in their hand. It's more like they will not get hindrance by the Jushin or maybe the high loss from the high loss. But if they're trading out the Fedrin here because they can go for the last pick jungler, so Diruyu can wait for that pick and can give out Unazoe the goal lane pick here. More like if he wants to give him the Cho goal lane, because I'm yet to see the Cho goal lane in Indian community scene because I'm already been seeing it in the MPL Indonesia, MPL Philippines as well. It was a beautiful pick, but now no, they're not going for a fighter goal lane. They're going for the Granger here, Unajoy. At the same time, a lot of picks are open which can count this Granger out. They can also go for the Bane pick if they want, and also, they can pick up that Irithel to counter this Granger. Even Hadit will be a potential pick.
Exactly, the Harith is a pretty good choice here. But then again, there's the Esmeralda, so they might not actually want to take that kind of a risk. So we'll have to see what Lokit decides to pick here. The Bane is still kind of open, but they are just gonna be going in for a safer choice, possibly, like I mentioned, the range marksman, which is going to be a carry. Okay, that's a bit unique, I would say, for the Watch the Throne to pick up such a hero. But then again, it does work out, judging from the fact there's a high loss, there's an Esmeralda. But it's all going to depend on these two gold laners now as to who can scale better, since Watch the Throne has a very scaling kind of composition with the carry as well as the Kimmy in one draft, while Anti-Vegetarian just has the Granger for majority of the damage dealing part on towards the late game.
Granger, and they can also at this point they can actually go for that Xbox pick, which I really wanted to see, because there is a Bakshia out there. You can go for the Xbox. At the same time, they can go for the Fanny or Joy. I mean, those two heroes are actually good with the magic penetration. I told you, Sigma Boy is here, guys. Is Joy into the jungle? Tiruyu with the Joy against a Bakshia obviously works very nicely. But let's see. I mean, it's just a draft, guys. It's just decide the 40% of the gameplay, and 60% is yet to come with the execution part. So let's see, guys. The draft is on. The 5 versus 5 is on as well. And it will be one team taking out the lead in this BO5 series semifinals at Throne of Dawn, powered by Miko Gaming Official. And this game will be get casted by me, STZ, and Sarah. We hope that you guys already subscribe our channel, like the stream, and share the stream to your friends, because the semifinals, the last day of the semifinals is here, guys. Tomorrow it will be the grand finale. So what why you're waiting up? For what you're waiting up? Just go and ask your friends to come up
Welcome
and watch
to
the game.
MOBA Legends.
This is anti-vegetarian going against team Watch the Throne. Both the
5
teams are so
seconds till
good.
the enemy
So
reaches
good
the
from the very
battlefield.
beginning of the tournament
Smash
as well
them.
as in the quarterfinals. We have already seen
Watch the
anti-vegetarians La
throne.
Passion securing the Maniac with the Arlot against STES. So do from the Watch the Throne Kimi plays in the last BO3 quarterfinals, of course. Let's go, guys, into the land of dawn for the first game of the night. There is obviously the BO5 series, Watch the Throne versus Anti-Vegetarian. We can see the aggro being taken up at this point. It's more like, Kimi Jukshin. These are the most traded picks of Throne of Dawn. You can say in the streaming part, Sarah.
Exactly, like not only Throne of Dawn, in every major game in the tournament scene, Kimi or Jukshin, these two are the most sought after picks after all. Like it's either 100% ban rate or 100% pick rate. So we have to give it to these two heroes for that consistency in being the top two picks for the mid lane. But then again, both these teams are pretty good at what they do, so we'll have to see how they execute the team fights. Anti-vegetarian definitely has the team fight advantage with the Esmeralda diving right into the backline, and then there's going to be the electrifying beats. But there we go,
Oh
the early little engage onto Unajoa,
my
but
goodness.
now Harry is the one in danger. Maru will be able to take down the Granger with that early first blood, which means that Carrie is going to have a lot of advantage right now.
Of course, that means the Granger obviously have upper hand against the carry because of the range, but now okay, the lot of burst coming in. Jushin will be getting a vulnerable position, will be taken out as well by Agray. The aggression being there, electrifying beast popped up as well. Diruyu goes back with the rhythm of joy. Will not find any kills at this point. 2-0 is the score before the turtle.
Absolutely, a very good engage. Like despite missing the first jump onto the Jukshin, like Ray and Lei, they both did manage to convert that into a good kill and also made it out alive. So this might just be a good advantage for them at the turtle. But considering the fact that Senti is gonna be taken out already very low and his bravest fighter is used up as well, they will have to delay the turtle if they want to contest it. Because without your EXP laner, you can't really go for the turtle now, can you?
I don't feel so like. Lapu Lapu's still there though. Senti, he can make up for the turtle, but at the same time, look at that. They're trapping up at this point. Esmeralda getting chunked down. Traction Pulse comes up. A lot of burst is being dished out there. Might Knight falls down in the hand of the Kimi, as well as they're going for a skirmish again and again. The Crimson Bacon popped up. They got a stun there. Double for Lee. Going for a triple at this moment. Might be grabbing it up onto the Esma, but no. We're retaliating back. Wanna grab up that turtle.
Exactly. So should be an easy turtle for them. The Hylos is dead, and Juxin is also pretty far away. The Joy is low. They aren't going to be contesting it in any way, so that's an easy neutral objective getting secured by the side of WatchTheThrone. That experience speaking a lot in the team fights, I would say. Like, despite having a team fight advantage because of the Hylos on the Juxin, Team Anti-Vegetarian isn't actually able to convert it into actual kills. So we'll have to see how the things go on as the game progresses, because the carry and Kimmy, they're just gonna keep scaling, and eventually after the power spike of 1 or 2 items, WatchTheThrone will definitely be having the upper hand during the team fights, and they can also pick off literally anyone. Maru can just give a taunt, and the marksmen, both the marksmen in this game, can just burst him down instantaneously. So as for now, both the teams are trying to play it out very safe. They know that a single mistake can cost them the game in a lot of ways. So they will really have to strategize and think as to which targets they can mark down to try and get some advantage into the game, because if they don't, it's kind of game over from here.
Hiroyu is so good with the zone, I can perfectly say, because the way he is going for the team fights, he's waiting for the best execution part, maybe for the finishing part. It's more like onto the Might Knight. He's not giving that much opening there for the gangs are not getting successful for the side of anti-vegetarian. They're yet to get their first blood for their side. I mean, 4-0 is the micro score, yet they need to open up their scoreboard. Otherwise, it will be like a less gold earn in the early phase, and more like the early phase will just tilt it towards the throne at this moment. But it's a matter of seconds, guys, because the second neutral objective is about to spawn in to the land of dawn, and we might gonna see another skirmish here, because obviously they're playing very safe. They're waiting for the objective. They're waiting for the fight at the objective, of course, and moreover, like they wants to gank on to that Granger at this point. Maru is getting ready for the setup, but no, it's more like Una Joy was already ready for it. The turtle spawn, and it's more like the Seeker being met up by anti-vegetarian, but it is an upper hand for Was the Throne to grab up this turtle for them.
Exactly. So, like, it's a very, like, scattered fight as of right now, but okay.
Okay, the skirmish happened once again. Glorious Pathway popped up. This time they're cornered. The Kimmy out from the team fight. At the same time, we're going to see the Crimson Bacon popped up, but it will be located with the true damage. Bursting out the tanks. And obviously, he's got the carry in his hand, the tank killer. It is literally bursting out everything in his side. Agre got the turtle there. Same time, we're going to see the pools coming in. But it's more like the turtle and the one kill. 2 for none is the trade, guys. It's still like Was the Throne having the upper hand. They'll be grabbing up the macro as well, Sarah.
Exactly. So, like, it's gonna be a free turret for them with the way Gray is being able to zone, and even Maru so far ahead of his team, and still safely making, just walking out alive of there in front of 3 people. That just kind of says the amount of domination which was the throne is being able to show in the match as of right now. So that's a fun thing to watch actually. Like, one person zoning out 4 people, how can that even happen, right? But then again, was the throne is making it possible for us, so kudos to them for that. But anti-vegetarian really needs to think here, what can they really do in a team fight? Because if they stop carry, there's the Kimmy. If they stop Kimmy, there's the carry. And not to forget, there's Maru as well as Egray on for the
Oh.
backline. But Sentino onto the mid lane, just a little bit of poke damage coming in right there, and he's practically being unscathed in every single team fight, despite landing every single blow of the bravest fighter right into the back line.
Yeah, of course. And the way Chukshin dodged the previous fighter was so good at the point, and they went for the trap down, but then it was more like he used his bravest fighter to leave back to the safer side. But at this point, again, I mean, I'm telling you, they're not taking unnecessary fights. They know that they have the goal lead into their side. Even if it is like 3K, but still, it works in the early phase of the game. It's just 7 minutes and 45 seconds, and you are having a 3K goal lead. It might be getting out of the hand in the mid to late phase. At this point, they're just playing safe. They're waiting for the objective to come up, and then they will take a fight, or they will grab up their turtle, because they know that they have the upper hand in each and every objective fight. But again, we're going to see the skirmish coming in. Traction balls being used up, as well as the Lantern player there. It will be a free turtle, guys. Third one, Agri, Turtle Slayer.
Absolutely, but look at that. The AOG comes in and Voodoo's gonna be able to dodge that with the Crimson Beacon, but it isn't over. The Falling Star Moon onto 4 people, but he isn't able to sustain that carry with the ultimate, just bursting them down. Senti securing the kill along with Maru and Lei with the killing spree onto Tiro. You, Team Watch the Throne, just absolutely wiping 3 members just like that while also fighting right under the turret. The farm lead, it's a little too much for anti-vegetarian to be able to handle right here. Ash.
Better nothing. I mean, it's better you have nothing or you have a macro there. I can say that thing. But now, what a way to set up the gang there. Una Joy falls down with a trap. And there you go. The glorious pathway popped up. It will help the Hylos to go back in the safer side. But at the same time, Una Joy was not anticipating that gank onto him. Maru was waiting all this time in the bush to just grab off to Una Joy. I felt like that. And I mean, the thing is, he grabbed up a macro at the same team fight, but then the turtle and 3 kills went into the hand of Watch the Throne. It was more like they're receiving a lot of buff, a lot of gold because of the level gap they're having, because of the damage gap, you can say. They're just penetrating out all those anti-vegetarian here, but there you go. Boochu with the kill now. Senti falls down. Might Knight will be the redemption one for Agri. 1 for 1. AOG comes up for the disengage here. Crimson Beacon popped up as well. Will give a little bit of more time, but Distraction Pearls from behind. A lot of damage will be dished out by La Passion here. He's going for the blessings. Oh my goodness, he went for the gank here. He will be going back as well because he knows that he doesn't have that much damage to, I mean, control the gank, or you can say sustain here.
Exactly. They don't have the farm to like stay in team fight for more than a few 10-15 seconds. Like all they can do is get a pick off and just immediately back off. So that 200 to 300 gold which they are recovering from 1 kill is the only thing that can keep them alive in this match, because Watch the Throne, they've got a whopping 5k gold lead right now, 5.5 in fact. So things are going to matter a lot as to how they play it out from here. Of course, Watch the Throne is going to be syncing up the lanes and just waiting up for the Lord to go in for an all-out engage. However, if Team Anti-Vegetarian does manage to defend this one, they will have a slight opportunity, a space to breathe, just to stay alive a little longer in the hopes for a possible comeback. But then again, with the presence of the carry and the Kimmy, it's just going to get harder and harder as the time progresses.
Yep, and the Lord coming in from the top side. They do have the Holy Blessings. AOG popped up as well. They're going for the gank here, and it will be a beautiful setup. Killing spree for the Baksha. Continuous damage coming in. Unstoppable. Lei will be grabbing it up. In the meantime, previous fighter inside the tier. It is an offensive mode. He will getting a lot of damage from the tier, but he got a kill there. 1 for 1 inside the tier. But if you're gonna count it, it will be a 3 for 1 trade coming out from the side of Team Watch the Throne. The Lord is here. Holy Blessings popped up. They're going for the gank here, trapping down the Jushin. Flicker popped up. He'll be giving a lot of crowd control there, but a lot of damage also comes up. They will be locking down the base. The Lord is standing at here. It's more like a defense coming in. Monster will be secured by Lei. Voodoo got a hand onto Maru here. Slain happened there. At the same time, we can see that Esmeralda will be standing at as a sustainable wall. And they managed to defend it out, Sarah, somehow.
I think the only reason they defended it is because Senti decided to become a sacrifice at the mid lane inhibitor. Like, he went in so far ahead, he didn't have a path back. So I guess he was just telling them that, okay, you can kill me, you can stay alive for a few more minutes, but we're gonna win the game anyway. But then again, let's see what happens, because right now the goal difference, oh, it just increased. It's 7k now, so we can't really say anything what's gonna happen, except for the fact that if Watch the Throne keeps doing what they are doing right now, with the amount of items and the gold that they have a very, very clear advantage. The carry is nearly at full build. Once she gets the Malefic gun, it's just going to be kind of over, because the tanks won't even be able to reach her, and they will get bursted from so far away. And it's just going to be a matter of seconds before a team fight ends, because without a front line, the Juxin and the Granger, they won't even be able to do anything.
Yeah, and now it's more like Team Anti-Vegetarian needs to hold up a little bit more because the goal difference, which was at a time 3K at the 7 minutes, if we double the time, it is right now double the amount as well because it went to a 7, not 7, 8K goal lead. It's more than the double as well. So they need to, I mean, grab up some kills. Otherwise, I mean, the objectives are not falling into your hand because of the level gap you're having right now. Even if we can talk about the items, it's more like Was the Throne has already completed their setups, a lot of their members, and they have a lot of bounties on their head. But there you go. Ali Games Skirmish coming in. La Passion will be followed up by two members. Okay, they'll be retaliating back. Good decision because you need to wait for the lot to come in. Then you might go for that mighty push.
Exactly. So the Lord is going to be marching down the top lane. They didn't actually sink the bottom lane though, so that might just be an issue for them. But I think they are going in for a kind of all-in push altogether. The Lord has nearly reached the base though. Gray is going to be charging in along with Maru Ash.
No need to synchro. AOG popped up, but it will be a flicker bait coming out from the Granger. In the meantime, Lokit goes in. Might Knight falls out. The true damage coming in. Double onto Duiru. Lokit, can he go for a triple at this moment? They're locking down the base now. A lot of damage just got into the hand of Maru, and killing spree will be secured by none other than the Jushin there. It's more like the Baksha giving out the zone coming in, but synchronization of the lane is so bad here. Lokit falls down in the hand of the Esma. It's more like successful defend. Another successful defend come up from the side of Anti-Vegetarian.
Two successful defense and even two very important shutdowns getting secured by anti-veg right there, reducing the goal gap just a little bit, but still it's going to be making a difference because if having a carry and a Kimi on practically full build and you still can't end the game, that means that you are taking it a little too easy. What's the truth? You need to sync up those lanes like we have mentioned. Because without properly synced lanes, it's just going to get harder and harder for you to end the game. They do have the wave clear because of the Granger as well as the Jukshin. Like, not for long though, because after the 18-minute mark, the minions are way too tanky for a Granger to clear with one Rhapsody or Death Sonata combo. So it will be harder for them as well. But then again, at the base, the Joy, the High Lows, they've got an advantage because of the movement speed buff. So both the marksmen from the side of Was the Throne will have to play it very carefully because we saw the damage from the electrifying beats was a little too much for them to handle, and they were left out practically at 1 HP as they were trying to push down with the Lord.
Hey, Maru was hiding there, got zoned out easily by the La Passion there. Was a beautiful moment to watch. At the same time, roller coaster being pulled up here, give a little bit of map advantage to that Baksha. It's more like we need to wait up for more 13 seconds, and I believe this time Anti-Vegetarian does have a little bit of farm into their side, so they can actually contest out this lot. But as for me, it will be better if you just, I mean, if you know you can defend out the lot easily, then you should wait for it. No need to, I mean, sacrifice your members for the gamble. And what if the gamble doesn't goes into your side and you just lose the game? But the zone is perfect from Was the Throne, and they'll be securing the uncontested lot once again.
Exactly. So, and it is actually for now, we can say that this Lord should be it. It's a 16-minute Lord. Not the fully enhanced one though, but then again, it is still going to be very, very tanky. And the way the Team Anti-Vegetarian are actually trying to delay the minions, it is going to definitely make a difference in how they are able to defend it. However, this time around, I guess Team Was the Throne has learned their lesson and are actually trying to sync up the lanes. But then again, on the mid side, okay,
Okay, the bravest fighter, they're starting up the gank here. The fight is on and grabbing up with the AOG. Immobilize happened there. It will be Lay securing the godlike onto Might Knight. Double will be secured onto Diryu. Crimson Bacon popped up. A lot of resources baited down at this point. The chunky minions goes in. Finds the inhibitor there as well as the Esmeralda. La Passion right now deflecting the Lord Way, which is more like the synchronization happens so nicely. Bravest fighter comes inside the base.
Granger.
And it will be the inhibitor falling down as well as the Granger starting their throwing everything to defend it up, but it will not be happening because the Lord and the 5 members will be securing the base. The crown, the throne will be settled for the first game for the side of team Was the Throne. And obviously, it's more like, I mean, the name is Throne of Dawn, the tournament name is Throne of Dawn, and we got the team as Was the Throne. So obviously, they're just securing their first win and will be going for that lead in this BO5 series. So far, the gameplay was so good from Was the Throne. Even though I can say, like, even though there was a lot of backlash in the starting period for team anti-vegetarian, but they still, I mean, stood for like 18 minutes for third lot. So it's miracle for them as well. I mean, unbelievable stuff, but it's happened. I believe like they might gonna give a comeback in the second game, Sarah.
It is possible though, because this time around they did, miss out on the draft a bit. Like it was good, but then again, it wasn't as thought out as it was from the side of Watch the Throne. So that is definitely making an impact into the team fights as well, because we saw Watch the Throne having that immense control over the backline just because of the Garot Kata and the Bakshia. So learning from that, I do believe that anti-vegetarian will be picking up on few of those traits, and they will definitely be looking to make a comeback. Otherwise, it's going to be a 2-0, and it's going to put Watch the Throne on the match point in this best of 5 series. So we are definitely going to be looking forward to a score equalizer as of right now, because we really don't want the series to end so quick. It's a semi-final after all.
Yeah. But for the second game, we need to take a short break and we'll be coming back soon, guys. And please stay tuned with us. Stay hydrated. Open up your chips packets. We'll be coming back.
He's gonna save someone this time. For him, I will be the beacon through these turbulent seas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Throne of Dawn Season 1 powered by Miko Official Gaming. We are here for the BO5 series, the semi-final second day between Team Was the Throne versus Team none other than Anti-Vegetarian. So the first game, if I'll give you a little bit of recap, it's more like Team Was the Throne got the first game into their hand, a lead in this BO5 series with not a dominative win, but it's more like you can say 50-50 from both these sides, but they grab up the objective, so obviously they won the game, they won the set. But now it's the time for the redemption, it's the time for the comeback. We might gonna see a comeback from Anti-Vegetarian, or we'll be seeing the match point game in the next for Was the Throne if they were winning this second game for them. Angela will be the first ban from the side of Anti-Vegetarian. CC same from Was the Throne.
Exactly so. Just the same bans as always, because I guess both of these teams are just very afraid of those two heroes, or it's more like a target ban. But then again, Angela ban though, I'm not sure why they do it because there's so many ways to counter an Angela. Pick up a Lancelot, just go in for some kind of a burst mage or something. It's not worth it to be banning Angela in a 5v5 situation, that too in the semi-finals of a tournament. However, then again, preferences do matter, so I guess anti-vegetarian just doesn't want to risk it. On the side of What's the Throne, though, they are gonna stick with their standard bans, the CC getting taken out, most possibly the Grok, the Juxin, what else do we say? There's the Arlord ban, of course, and then here we go. Now finally we see the Kimi ban coming in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you said about that thing, like 100% ban onto these two heroes, Kimi or Juxin, or we're gonna see the 100% pick rate as well. But the thing is, I mean, people are not so banning that Kimi. They're banning out the Chuchin, but they're not banning out the Kimi. They're probably trading out the Kimi every time. But nowadays, you can't go for the Fursa against a Kimi. You can actually go for the Kadita, but you need that sick, sneaky gameplay. You need to stay in the bush and just wait for the Kimi to, I mean, obviously go and peekaboo her. But it's not so easy because the second skill of Kimi is actually immune and she can actually dodge you out easily. So banning it out, it's a greater, I mean, best choice I will suggest for anti-vegetarian. They're also opening themselves for the Lancelot or for the Ishanshin, but there you go. The Totkacha into the ban list. A respect this time from not a respect though, but it's more like you don't want the meta to come in. But at the same time, Grok is open, Lancelot is open, Ishanshin is open. If we're gonna see the EXP laning, then there's Alice, Lapu Lapu, Esmeralda. A lot of things are open at this point, and there are only two slots for banning. So what should get prioritized here? Juxin, Alice, Lancelot, Grok. This out of this four, Sarah, what do you think? Which is more important to be banned?
For the side of anti-vegetarian, I do think they need to ban out on the Lancelot. Like, you don't want to give a Gray his one of his main prime heroes right now, and even such a meta jungler all the way. But instead, they do go ahead with the Juxin ban. But with the okay, with the Kimi as well as the Juxin getting banned out, what do you think is their game plan right here? Like, what do they want to pick up as part of their mid lane instead?
I can't even say that because it's more like, okay, okay, guys, you traded out the Jushin and now you went for the Lancelot. The Grok is banned, so it's more like you can go with high loss, and Kufra is like -2%. We see in the game community scene. So who will be taking out this Lancy? Are you planning for the Fatso? I mean, sorry, I don't need to say this in the stream, but it's more like I always say this, it's my emotions against a Franco. You can actually go for the Cho Rome. It's nowadays it's being used a lot, but someone is needed to grab this Lancelot. Otherwise, zing zing zing, he will be out in your hand, out from your hand. Senti, Lokid, I don't think they will be picking it up, but it's more like a roamer or an EXP laner. You can actually go for the Alice though. Ishanshin Alice or Ishanshin Lapu. Okay, no Ishanshin, but Lapu is there. They're going coming
Lapu
with the
and the
Ruby as well.
Ruby. Yeah, the
Isn't it so
Ruby.
early?
The Ruby is a little bit early, I would say, but then again, pretty decent pick against the Lancelot. Like he dives in and you just go in for the stun, and it might kind of work out for them. Though I won't lie. But then again, there could have been better options. Like you could just lock in onto the Fredrin. Who even is going to counter a Fredrin in this draft? There's no Jukshin, there's no Kimi, and the best thing they can do is try and pick up a carry or an X-Borg. But how is that even going to work out against a Lapu Lapu
My
right into your
kiss
faces? But instead,
will it grant
anti-vegetarian, like
immortality
picking up on that
or
situation and
death?
locking in onto the Alice is a pretty good
Rise
decision.
beyond
And a Yu
greatness.
Zhong
Your
in the
team
goal
has
lane, Ash. What are
reignited
you
the
gonna say about
star.
that?
I'm not sure, Sarah. This Yuzong is into the gold lane or to the EXP. Alice might be a thing into the gold, but it's more like watching out the opponent's side. It's more like, as you mentioned, Yuzong gold lane, because obviously against a Ruby you'll have the upper hand in the early phase of the game, but when the Ruby will get the a little bit of snowballs, she can actually grab you up easily in the team fight. So more like this fighter goal lane is not in for the laning phase. It's more like you're contributing into the team fight more than the laning. So but for that you need someone to like reach out the damage as well. If this is a, I mean, full damage Lancelot,
Your
I'm
team
not
is
sure how
banning.
it's gonna sustain or how it's gonna break out through all this walls team was the throne is having. Lance, I mean, Lapu Lapu, Ruby, everything they got. They're yet to pick their roamer as well, so they can also go for the Kaja, Franco, or somehow you can say high loss. But now it will be a Hayabusa against a Lancelot. Is it a good choice? I mean, the Ishan Shin was open, Fedrin was there.
I mean, like, it can work out. The Hayabusa is a genuinely a decent choice, I would say, and it's also one of Egway's comfort picks. However, against the Lancelot, who can immune the quad shadow kill, it is going to be a risky pick altogether. But then again, we do have two frontliners to cover for it, though. But they
Among the
still need a
clans
ranged
exists
damage
the
dealer
equilibrium,
with the two
which
fighter
I was
composition
made
right now,
for.
and I'm kind of curious to see what they might actually pick up for their mid lane. It could be the Karita, but then again, who is a Karita going to burst out? There's an Alice and a Yu Zhong in front of you. It could be the Eve, but they have banned out the Eve for themselves. It could be the Farsa, though the Farsa is still a decent choice despite whatever tankiness there is. And other than that, it's hard to say what they are actually planning here.
Lunox? What about Lunox?
Oh yeah, Lunox, definitely, you are right about that. Lei does play that.
So Lunox can be the option here, but what if we're gonna see it in the banning list? Because they're yet to ban out two heroes here. They can go for the Lunox ban. They can go for the Fursa.
Fight!
Even the
Fight
Lilia
for
is
the
open, so
ultimate
it's
answer.
more like okay, no more mid laners. They already banned out two, so they're more into the Hilda here because obviously Hilda will be the best option against the Lance. She can mark out the Lance easily with the mobility. She got the reason. She got a little bit of, I mean, hindrance as well with the early game invasion hindrance with the help of the power of wilderness. So it's more like Hilda ban is a safer play for the Lancelot. At the same time, as you mentioned, that they can go for that Farsa, Kadita, or Lunox, everything into the mid. Last ban coming in, they banned out the Eve, might be banning out the Farsa because it's more like the Yuzong and the Alice will give a good chain CC with the Farsa being there, bursting out to you. So, yeah, told
Your
you.
team is banning.
Hmm. So now the last
Yeah.
ban from the side of team, yeah,
The last ban, I do feel like they should definitely ban out on the Lunox because there's so many other lanes getting banned out, but we have not seen the Lunox ban so far. And if they have done even a little bit of homework, they should know that Lei loves playing that hero, and it's a dangerous pick to be giving him the Lunox. However, the only thing which Watch the Throne can do here is if they pick up the Lunox, they've got their thing settled, and if they don't get the Lunox, they can send the Ruby to Rome and they can instead pick up on a
I
proper
love the
marksman.
smell
But
of
hey,
Your
fire's
okay,
team
glory.
is
forget
picking.
everything. We're gonna ban out a Franco, is what anti-vegetarian is telling us.
of course I told about the Franco thing, but it was not so necessary to ban it
Join
out
me
because
in
it's
my
more like
dream
okay, the
world.
bloody haunt is there. They want their jungler Diruyu to play very safe. They banned out the Hilda for him. They banned out the Franco for him. It's more like they're giving their all the bets onto that Lancelot. If he fails, it will really be not a good matter for the anti-vegetarian, because they did every setup for him. So he need to pull out his ace gameplay here. As we mentioned, Lunox, it will be there, and there will be a Kalea. My goodness, after a long time, I'm going to see this lady out there onto the roam, and there will be the Zetian as well. Okay, Zetian. Uh, there is a, thing that you can give the utility here, but what about the burst? You don't have the burst. Is Yuzong going for a fighter build or sustain?
That's what they don't have any kind of burst. It's just a little bit of heals with the Kalia for the Yuzhong as well as the Alice. The Lance is just gonna be marking out the backline. The Zacian with that global ultimate is probably gonna try and do something. However, who is the main damage dealer for the side of anti-vegetarian? Like WatchTheThrone has got Hayabusa as well as Lunox and even Ruby to a certain extent. But we can't see a proper damage dealer except maybe the Lancelot from the side of anti-veg. Even Zacian is a very utility kind of mage.
Well played, Team Anti-Vegetarian, with the drop, but I'm not so happy with that Zetian pick. It's more like, okay, you will be zoning out properly, you'll be giving the utility, but the burst is lacking here. Let's see how the game goes for these two teams. Team Anti-Vegetarian yet to start their scoreboard. Obviously, because it's 1-0 right now. It's just the second game. If they're losing it out, obviously the confidence will be shifted towards team Was the Throne, because they will be playing their match point in the next match. And if you lose out this game, Was the Throne, doesn't matter. They have more two to play. So they are in the passenger seat right now, and you're in the driving way. So you need to pull out the driving way one of the gameplay, because of course you don't want to get a 3-0 knockout from the semifinals. Everybody wants to represent themselves in the finals. Legend and man, welcome back to the Land of Dawn. Anti-vegetarian with I mean, zero score in this BO5 series, going against the leader. The leading team Was the Throne of this BO5 series. 1-0 is the score, guys. And we're going to see a big game, because both of their drafts is so skeptical. We can't say anything about it. The Lunox is might be a X factor for the side of Was the Throne here.
Exactly. Like, look at Maru. He's just so cute with that high loss. He just goes in, gets the vision onto 3-4 people, and then just walks out right out of there. That early level 2 is actually going to help him a lot, though. Especially because now that Lance does not have the retribution, he can easily call in his jungler for an easy invade. But then again, Gray is like, no man, I don't have the farm right now. I don't want to invade so early. However, both of these teams, if they do want, they can go in for the early brawl. Team Was the Throne should be winning that because they have the Ruby for the early damage, and onto the top side, we can see that early little skirmish right onto Ruby. Lokid getting taken down a little bit low for that. And Voodoo here, he definitely has the passive,
Oh,
and Gray will get stopped in his tracks. So that was a friendly little skirmish going on right there.
it's fine. The turtle is about to come. You should not have the
Yeah, but Egyptian is not going to have, the Zacian will not have the passive. So it's going to be a better neutral objective at the turtle. However, we will have to see how things work out for the side of both of these teams. And the thing is that anti-vegetarian, they do not have that early game burst. Only Lancelot will have the Thorn Rose to secure the turtle. However, what can we really say? Was the Throne here? They can easily steal it away. They can just target down the station on the backline with the 4-channel kill. Ruby can go in for an early rotate with the set, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we have to see, but it's more like, team Was the Throne. They started well. Let's see if they can grab up the turtle. But
Yeah. It's like we have to actually see. We have to see a lot, and we can't see much right now. So while the technical glitches are being really fixed out, kindly just be patient for a few minutes, and we'll be right back.
yeah, Okay, we're back, guys.
We're back, and somehow the map looks a lot different with the turtle getting secured by the side of Watch the Throne, and also 4 kill lead all in their favor. So that team fight did not go well for the side of anti-vegetarian Ash.
Yeah, 4-0. The score is. It's just like the last game. They got the shuttle in their hand with the 4 micro lead. So it's more like Was the Throne is again dominating the early phase of the game, and that's what they do every time. And it's the more over right thing to do because you know that anti-vegetarian doesn't have the early game damage. It's just Yuzhong, and if he's coming into it, but what is happening there? Is it he was not ready for it? He got grabbed up with those hooks, and then the quad shadow with the Ogi shadow kill comes up and slaying him down there, executing him up. 5-0 the score is anti-vegetarian falling down very badly in the early phase of the game.
No early damage, but then again, no late game scaling as well. So, what can anti-vegetarian really do here? Because the goal lead is already in favor of Team Watch the Throne, and they have already secured a tier 1 turret. And the best that anti-vegetarian I think they can do is try and get the pickoffs. They do not have the burst either to do that, but a full-blown team fight with the Lunox hitting you from the backline, I don't think that is going to work out for them.
Hey, the damage though, Glorious Pathway popped up very early. The turtle is here. It's more like he thought like they'll be going for the setup here for the zone for the gang, but it's just a poke to bait out that resources from the high loss before the turtle. But now, okay, Yuzong got immobilized there. Zone comes up. He's going for the dive. Tsunami Slam happened as well. Killing spree for Agre. He goes in with the stun comes up. Lokid finds the kill as well. Brilliance comes up for the Lunox. Lei goes into the backside. Double for Lokid. Diryu falls down there. 3-man up with the turtle being coming in. Quad Shadow. Ogi Shadow kill comes up. Agre will be slaying out Buju. My goodness. 4 for none with the trade, and the turtle will be free for the Was the Throne. What a game coming in. It's just the domination from the very beginning of the game against the anti-vegetarian. They're just taking up the second game into their hand without any, you can say, mercy for anti-vegetarian.
Absolutely, Ash. Just absolute domination coming in from the side of Watch the Throne right now, and there's simply nothing that Anti-Veg can do right here because that burst which is coming in just because of the Lunox and the Lapu Lapu then into the backline. There's no backline for the side of Anti-Veg here. It's all for frontliners, and even Lancelot cannot sustain the absolute abomination that Was the Throne has created right here in this game. It's a score of 9-0 with a 6k goal lead in under 6 minutes. That is huge for a team to be doing in the semi-finals, and we can definitely see that experience plays a lot. And there is simply nothing that Anti-Veg can do here except pray for a possible miracle to try and come back from this.
Of course, because it's just 6 minutes 30 seconds of the game, Sarah, and they got a 5.5k goal lead into their hand. Queen's Wing will be acquired by the Ruby there. So early, can we see the item sections? Because I mean, I believe a lot of changes already happened into the item section for Was the Throne because of their goal lead they're having at this moment. It's more like they'll be having a lot of items for them, but moreover like oh, what just I saw, is it like wand, genius wand? Oh no, okay.
It's just those little, skirmishes going on here, and even Lei, he is going in for the Sky Piercer, so he's gonna hurt a lot more from now. And those little swish sounds that's gonna come in the moment he secures a skill is gonna be really funny to see. But the only thing that Anti-Veg can do here is pray for a miracle, like we mentioned. And the other thing they can do is get the Kalia to pick up the Lunox or the Hayabusa for a possible pick-off, like 5-man rotation onto one place, get the pick-off onto the damage dealer, and then go in for a team fight. And that is the best thing that they can possibly do. And look at the Hayabusa just perfectly for Shadow Kill, and exactly like we mentioned, the Tsunami Slam comes in onto Agre, and there we go, the shutdown along with the Glorious Pathway comes in, the Petrify onto 3 people. Unojo are trying to deal a lot of damage right into the back line, but Hiroyu has to escape. Immune Senti with the Thorn Rose, but onto the backside we can see Lei and Locate fighting it out, turning this team fight into their own favor with 2 more kills secured, and going in for the third one with the I am upset coming in by Locate, absolutely turning over the team fight completely into their favor.
Now might be thinking about twice about the ban onto the Franco, because this Lunox is melting down you. Okay, the glorious pathway comes. I mean, he got the passive there, but it will not be working. Agray with the aggression goes in with the quad shadow, finds a kill with the Shuriken, and comes back as well. It's just not the official wipeout though, but you can say it's a wipeout because it's a 13:1 ratio onto the micro setup for WatchTheThrone, and they grab up the macro as well. 2-tier falls down. Everything is cleaned and sorted at the top, at the bot lane, of course. Not the bot, at the top lane, of course. And the bot is just a tier also fall down. It's more like, I mean, zero lead, zero tolerance from WatchTheThrone to anti-vegetarian, whereas zero lead for anti-vegetarian into the macro ways. And in the micro, everything is distorted at this point. 13-1 is so huge, so massive. And if you're going to talk about the goal, it is really massive. It's 8k goal lead in just 9 minutes and 30 seconds of the setup of the gameplay. And we are about to see the first Lord coming in, and it might be the last Lord because of the goal lead, the level gap we are right now seeing up, the items which are scaled up from the side of WatchTheThrone. I believe like this Lord might be the last Lord. They can actually pull up their finish gameplay here with this Lord. But it's more like the defense might be coming out from anti-vegetarian. It doesn't have the burst, but they do have the sustain into their hand. They can actually defend up. They can actually deflect the Lord way. But the Lord is coming from the top side. Sarah, do you believe they will be defending it up? Or are we going to see the mighty push in just 10 minutes of the gameplay? I mean, 11 minutes of the gameplay.
They have only one wave clear, which is going to be the Zacian. And if she gets taken down anyhow by a Grey using up the shadows right on target, then it is pretty much going to be over for the side of anti-veg. They don't have the farm to stay alive. They don't have the sustain needed to counter Lunox's burst. And the best thing they can do here is try and hope that the Lancelot tries to cut off the mid lane minions, because it is the most important lane. They have 2 turrets onto that lane, but the way the minions are chunking in and the way that Team WatchTheThrone is trying to go in for the engage, it is just way too much for the side of anti-veg to handle. Luna Joe are forced to use of the Black Dragon form. Ash?
Yeah, it's now the time for the rush. The Lord is coming in, guys, but it's a deflection happened. British Fighter used so early. The Holy Blessings might come up, and it will be defending out the Lord easily there, but it's more like the synchronization of the waves, which is coming right now. They might go with these waves for the attack, of course. They went for it. Bravest Fighter. Okay, it's got used. The Nami Slam happened as well on the Lapu Lapu. In the meantime, we're going to see the puncture coming in by the Lancy. Dirui falls down. Agri goes in with the quad shadow. Wogi Shadow Kill comes up. Double for Agri onto Unazoa. At the same time, the Yuzong is still standing up, scaling up those damages onto the 4 members of WatchTheThrone. They're retaliating back. They're going back in the safer side at this point, but the Yuzong, okay, I mean, Alice goes in with a blood rain, but right now he's getting melted down with the burst. He goes back with the blood as well, but okay, before she can cast it out, La Passion falls down there with the Yuzong. Okay, Flicker popped up for Kalia.
Absolutely, a strong wave is coming in though from the mid lane as well as the bottom lane, and even though they do defend the bottom lane, who is exactly trying to go in and try and defend the mid? But okay, I guess it's the Lance. He did manage to take out 3 minions with a Thorn Rose, which means he does have a little bit of damage, but is it really going to help them at this point? The goal lead is 11,000 and a 15 kill lead to the side of WatchTheThrone, and unfortunately I don't think that any team can ever come back from that situation except for dragging the game to 19-20 minutes, setting the cooldown death timers to 70 seconds, and then going in for a wipeout. But how can a wipeout happen when there's a Lunox bursting each of you down in a matter of seconds?
Indeed, and now it's the endless battle being acquired by the Hiroyu. But I told you, like, if you're going for a full assassin build for yourself, Lancy, it could have been a greater idea because you do have a lot of sustain into your side. You don't have a lot of burst. the physical damage is really needed at the point, but he was building up that utility Lancy into his hand, and that's really not good. But now it will be a one shot onto the tier 1, and there will be a first macro into the side of anti-vegetarian. At least they got something into their hand, but the Lord is coming in, guys. Without the holy blessings, without the inhibitor standing at the bot side, it will not be easy to deflect it out or to defend it out at this point, because there is a huge gap into the goal. It is almost 11k, and we can see with items it's already, I mean, almost completed for the Haya. He's building out the Blade of Despair, which is one of the expensive item in our MOBA scene, as well as we're gonna see that the Lunox is building up this more burst into her hand. Okay, another inhibitor falls down on the top, and they might gonna go for the mid as well. The Lord is yet to come into the base way, but let's see. Are we gonna see the mighty push? Brilliance popped up.
I think we will, because we can see the Kalia tries to go in for something, but Zacian there just delaying them a little bit.
Oh!
Okay, the Alice! Ash!
Okay, beautifully stun out there. Dhiru goes in with the puncture, finds the kill there, but will be taken down with a redemption coming in by Agri. Agri goes back with the help of the quad shadow, but at the point, a sneaky picky happened, but it will be a double for Agri. My goodness, if you're gonna mess with him, he will be messing you up. Might Knight falls down, low kid as well. Just one member standing there. No! Can he manage to defend it out? Let's see. The Alice still standing in. Brave Spider comes up. A lot of damage being reaching out. Look at the Haya. He's going for the lockdown, but he'll be taken out. A shutdown happened, but Maru is still standing in. Double being secured, but the base will not be spared. Was the throne. Secure the win. 2-0 will be the score, and they will be going for their match point into the third game. It's so good from the side of Was the Throne. The dominative way of play style, and aggression, of course, by the jungler whose name is Agri, and they will be ditching out this game for them from the hand. I mean, it's not ditching out, snatching out the game from the hand of anti-vegetarian. At this point, they're literally plodding with those confidence. So, do you think that we're gonna see a reverse sweep?
Judging from the fact that Was the Throne is completely dominating the matches right now, and then as we can see that Team Anti-Vegetarian just isn't able to keep up, and now that their morale has been completely crushed, like legit, 2-0 right now Was the Throne in a best of 5 straight away, a 2-0 and match point. They are at an all-time high, and anti-vegetarians' morale is completely choked down right now, and I think that is going to make a difference in the third game. It might just be a 3-0, and Hash, I believe that there is definitely a chance that we get to see a clean sweep.
Yeah, might be a chance that we're gonna see that clean sweep here, but for that we need to take a little bit of break so that the players will be getting prepared for the game number 3 as well as us. So guys, we'll be going for a 2 minutes break, and we'll be coming back soon. So stay tuned with us. Don't go anywhere. Do subscribe our channel and share the stream to your friends. Thank you. Setup is clear, guys. We are back into the Throne of Dawn Season 1, powered by Miko Gaming Official. For the semi-finals, day number 2, What's the Throne versus Anti-Vegetarian is going on right now. And What's the Throne is having 2 points in this BO5 series. This is the match point game for them, and the do or die setup will be played by the Anti-Vegetarian. They need to win this game if they wants to be in this BO5 series, and also they wants to be in the tournament. If they wants to get the slot, get the ticket for the finals. But as you know, the game proceeding is more like Was the Throne is having their domination. The last game, it was a little bit, you can say that they didn't even give a little bit of chance to come back for the side of anti-vegetarian. But let's see, guys. I mean, I hope for the best. Anti-vegetarian can cook up this game for them and can come back. Or Was the Throne will give them a 3-0 clean sweep, which they already done in the last quarterfinal as well to their against, I believe it is Saro Esports, if I'm not wrong. No, not Saro Esports. It is
Havoc. It was
Havoc.
Team
Yeah.
Havoc. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think that it is going to be possible once more because if you look at the draft currently, they are still sticking to that standard draft of banning out the CC, and most probably on the side of anti-base, they don't ban out anything. Now, is that a glitch? Will it call in for a pause? We don't know, or is that some just kind of strategy to be like, we decide to already give up. We don't want to do anything. But yeah, that's not something you should be doing in a semi-final setting like this, and I hope that is not what they are doing. But other than that, Ash, I do feel like this has a very high chance of being a clean sweep with the way that Team Was the Throne has been playing so far, and now we can see the Alice getting banned out because obviously the Alice towards the end of the game in the previous match did give a little bit of issue to the side of Team Was the Throne. So now we'll definitely be seeing a fun little draft coming in from both of these teams, I believe.
This is the fun part of the BO5 series. We already are into the third game, and we all know that a lot of heroes are being played by both these sides. So they know that what's their strategy, what they can come up with. But last time, even though we all know that the Lunox was about to cook up, but they really went for the Franco ban because to give a good setup for the Lance. But in the end, it's just got very bad for them. And now they're banning out the Lancelot. They don't want to give it out to the WOT, that is Was the Throne, but they missed on ban though from their side as well. Last ban coming in for the first banning phase might be a ban onto the Angela or the Jushin. Both are open at this point, or they can trade it out with a Kimi as well. So they should ban out the Angela, or are they planning to go for the Angela for them?
Mean, it's definitely possible. The Lancelot has been banned out, and the way anti-vegetarian is drafting right here, I do believe they might just give away the Juxin, the Grok, the Kimi, practically everything towards the throne, and that is not something we'd like to see because we did feel like anti-vegetarian might cook up something and they can actually go in for the reverse sweep, but unfortunately they aren't doing that. They're just simply letting What's the Throne ban out whatever they want and then pick up whatever they want as well.
Let's see. Last ban coming in. They banned out the Arlot here. Might be planning for the Lapu Lapu for them because they banned out ILS Arlot. 3 EXP bans. Can you just believe this? Like they don't want all these EXP laners to be there, but at the same time, a lot of EXP laners are open because this is the fighter meta going right now in this patch. Last ban, Ishinshin is might be the vulnerable choice, but no, they're banning out the Angela here. Obviously, I mean the favorite girl of the Moonton. You can't do this, guys. Senti, why are you showing up that armor? A lot of picks are open. You can go for the Jushin here, first pick Jushin, or you can go for the Kimi as well. Kalea, Grok, main choice. I'll say that. Please go for the Grok. It is open, but they're currently showing the Amon into the panel.
Exactly. Honestly, even if they do pick up the Amon, I feel like Amon is a. You mean it? I mean, it is a decent choice. Like every solo or trio rank game we play, there's going to be an Amon if we don't ban him out, and somehow he does perform well, unless the player itself is bad. So if Senti does decide to pick up on that, we could. But instead, okay, they give Lays, Kimmy, so just securing the mid lane and deciding that it's fine. We're just gonna win the mid lane anyway.
Yeah.
And yep, as for
Okay.
information, we will be seeing a redraft since, yes, anti-vegetarian did miss out on a ban, and possibly we will be able to see the similar kind of bans and picks coming in from both the teams. And while that gets happened, I think Ash, like judging from the fact that the Kimi has already been picked up, and since it is going to be a
Your
redraft,
team is
do
banning.
you think anti-vegetarian is going to allow the Kimi pick?
I mean, it's already there, so I believe
Is
like there will be
banning.
the same bans, just the picks which were already taken will not get banned. I believe. I'm not sure about it. Is the organization call, is the referee call as well? So we need to know from the referee as well. Yeah. Okay. So I believe like maybe they will be. I know. I know. I believe like they will be banning out.
This land is
It's a
our
new
homeland.
setup,
Your
totally
people
new
are
setup. But
burning
no, they're banning
ground.
out the Lapu Lapu. That was the miss thing you can say. Could have talked about it if you wanted, but it's fine. Ban out the Lapu now. If we're gonna see the ban onto Alice, it will be fine. If not, then we will know that they're just it's a new setup
Marquise,
for the
Your
draft.
will
No,
it
team
they're
grant
banning out the Alice. It's just
immortality
the Lapu got add on.
thorns
or
remain.
death?
Should
Your
I
team
petals
do
is
think
fall?
it's
banning.
just the Lapu. It gets added on, and hopefully the Angela ban remains the same instead of the Kimi, because otherwise, What's the Throne is going to be a little angry, and they might just show their full prowess right from the first second of the game, and if that happens, then anti-vegetarian is in a lot more danger than they had been in the previous match. So we really don't
I
want
will
that to
choose
happen.
my
And
own
of
Your
course,
path.
the
team
bans
is
remain the same
banning.
from the side of What's the Throne. It has been the same for the past two games, and we are seeing the same thing all over again. Kimi first pick, most probably from the side of What's the Throne, while it is going to be a Jukshin and maybe the Hylos and the Garo from the side of
Your team is
anti-vegetarian.
banning.
Hmm. We already know those picks, so we can say it out. Okay. I can usually, I mean, I can flex it out. Like, I know the draft, what they're going to play. Kimi. I'm damn sure they will be grabbing up a Kimi here. They will show the Amon for the first, you can say, 20 seconds, and then in the last 2 seconds, they will be picking up that Kimi. Or are they planning something else? Like, it's just a redraft for the banning phase.
Welcome
Then
to
you can actually
God's
go for something
castle, my
else. Yup.
friend.
Okay, we do see
Went
the
for the
grok
Grok.
pick coming in. Yeah, we do see the grok, which means that
Stand by
anti-vegetarian gets the
freedom.
Kimi this time around, along with the Garut Kacha. So I guess that's just a little bit of like fancies getting from the side of Was the Throne. They are like, okay, we'll just give you the Kimi anyway. And instead they go in for the Lunox or the Farsa or maybe even the Jukshin for themselves. I don't know, anything is possible. It's Was the Throne after all. But against the Gatodo, you do really need to be a little bit careful because he is probably the best roamer right now, along with the Grok. So we will definitely be able to see a lot of skirmishes in
Hands
this
up.
one. And a Gray
Sanjo.
immediately decides to lock in on the Hayabusa, especially against the Kimi. So that is a good choice, I would say. And even Lokit, he could easily go in for the Nathan onto the goal lane, or if he wants, he could still lock in on the Ruby or even the
Aren't you
Lapu Lapu.
gonna
Oh, Lapu Lapu is
escalate
banned out.
today? Your
So we
team
will
is
be able to
picking.
see Esmeralda on towards the EXP lane instead.
Yeah, so many new picks comes up. We just thought about like Kimi will be there for like was the throne, but they went for the Grok. And now they're baiting out the Jushin there because it's more like the Jushin will get banned in the second banning phase. At the same time, the Farsa or the Eve are literally vulnerable to that Totkacha's AOG because they are kind of stationary. They will not have the mobility during the ultimate, so it's more like the AOG will cast on them easily. So you need the Lunox for your side. The Brilliance can help as a purifier, as a immune for you. So I believe like Lunox will be the choice for Was the Throne, but at the same time they can actually go for the Kadita to counter that Kimi out, or if the Jukshin is open in the second banning phase as well, they can go for the Jushin. But now what I'm seeing it's a
Your team is
Exborg, La
banning.
Passion with Exborg, EXP. Okay. I thought like the jungle Exborg might be a good thing, but Exborg against Esmeralda. Okay. It is actually a good pick. You can give the true damage to the Esma can melt her down a little. But into the team fight, I mean, you are literally vulnerable for the first 7 minutes when your armor will get down every time because you need the
Hey,
immortality and then a
greetings,
little bit of
gang.
more sustain, might for that brute force, or you can go with the dominance ice, which you got the Esma in front of you. Okay, Persa got banned.
Exactly. The Farsa did get banned just to help the Kimi, have a better time onto the mid lane. And the next ban most probably will be a Juxian or a Lunox. But then again, the Xborg pick, like you were mentioning, it actually goes both ways in the EXP lane this time because Esmeralda can actually cancel out the Firaga armor since it does count as a shield. But then again, the Xborg can also deal a lot of true damage and counter the Esmeralda. So it's just going to be a matter of who gets the better pokes at each other during the team
It is
fight.
in
And as for
despair
the
that
goal
I
lane,
see the
is was the
forest
throne once more
hopes.
will be banning out on the Nathan, most probably a Granger up next, since that was the first pick which Unajoa did pick up for himself in the first game. And that is exactly how this match will be going on. And if they don't ban out the Dunox even this time around, I really don't know what anti-vegetarian is going to be doing.
Yeah, and now you can see that team anti-vegetarian, they might go for that, as we mentioned before, they might go for that
Come and
Lunox
join
ban.
me
Yep,
in my
Your
it
dream
team
was
has
needed. I
world.
mean, other than Lunox, who is better there against the Gatot Kacha? Can't go for the Eve, you can't go for the Fursa, but they ban out the Fursa because it's more like the pick off combo with the Grok. The Feather Airstrike would have been a better combo. So they banned out the Forza, but Lunox was a ace pick for them. They even showed it in the last game, lay with the Lunox. So that's the thing of that's the beauty of the BO5 series. You know a little bit of trump cards, you know a little bit of strategy from your opponent's sides when the game goes a little bit deeper, third, fourth, fifth. So you do respect bans, and they literally respect that Lunox out there. Now the last ban, it might be onto another goal laner, or they can actually go for the ban onto Ruby.
see
Exactly, they
value in me.
can.
Your
But
team
instead, they do
they
decide to
should.
ban out on the Fredrin, which is once again a very solid choice considering the fact they have a Hayabusa in the jungle and they do not want any potential risks or stuns or taunts coming in for their jungler, especially during the turtles and the lord. So, yeah, that's a good choice right there. On the side of anti vegetarian, what can they pick up for their gold and jungle? Jungle, they can still try and go in for the Yusunshin if he can immune the shadow with his first skill, but still a very risky choice nonetheless. But then again, the other jungler left open could be the Baxia, the
Oh
Guinevere,
wow.
which they are
I'm
showing up right
born
now.
with
Your
No, they
talent
talent.
is
actually decide to
picking.
go in for the Guinevere jungle.
This is so good. I mean, the setup is so good from the side of anti-vegetarian this time. I was literally not expecting a Guinevere into the jungle, and now they're coming with the utility, even though the Fedrin got banned. But there you go. You forget the Jushin lady, man. How even we forget the Jushin lady at the point. And against the utility, Jushin is so good. The damage, the crowd control is so good. She can go for that. Even she can dodge out the special migration with the Crimson Bacon and the Flicker as well. It's more like Jushin will be the perfect choice here for the side of who was the throne. At the same time, they're going with the Golan Harith. But Golan Harith
My
against
game views
My
Xbog.
butterfly is born
Okay.
by thy
Your
wish,
team is
guided
picking.
by lantern's light.
And well, the, okay, onto the goal lane though, we can see the Harith and Jukshin in the mid
Let's
lane for
go.
the side of Watch the Throne, while anti-vegetarian goes in for an Irithel. Okay, that's a very, very, very scaling draft for the side of anti-vegetarian, I will say, with the Kimi as well as the Irithel. And I have
Hmm.
no idea how they are going to keep up with the early aggression that was the throne is gonna be showing in. So all the best to them, I believe, while Team WTT is just going to go in for their standard gameplay, I believe. And as for now, both the drafts are decent. However, Was the Throne obviously has the lead, while in terms of the early game potential, while anti-vegetarian will still have a chance on towards the late game.
Yeah. And with this, guys, we're ready to go into the Land of Dawn for the game number three between Team Watch the Throne versus Team Anti Vegetarian. Currently, anti-vegetarian are playing their duo dice set. If they lose it out, they're out from the tournament. They will get knocked out from the semi-final stage, and sadly, will have bid them the farewell from the tournament, Throne of Dawn. But at the same time, Watch the Throne will grab up a slot in the finals if they win this game. It's the match point for them as well. So let's see, guys, who will be taking out the throne here. Will it be WTT or will it be ADEG?
Exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn. We will be able to see the final match of the night. Most probably, if Was the Throne decides to secure that 3-0 clean sweep for themselves. Or we might go on to game number 4 if Anti-Vegetarian is able to hold out for so long that their Kini and Irithel are able to scale up and deal out as much damage as they possibly can. So we'll have to see. It's just a matter of time, and the first and second turtles are going to dictate the direction of this game as to which team gets the lead in the team fights from then on.
Every time we see that Watch the Throne start the game for them, it's more like they will show their domination in the very first minute of the game and grabbing up those macro at the same time in the previous two games. But this time I believe like anti-vegetarian do have a scaling draft. They can actually like pull up their ace play because they need to pull up because it's a do or die for them, of course. But at the same time, can we see a little bit of upset from the Was the Throne? Even though they dropped, look at that, they were going for the grabbing on the Irithel. At the meantime, the Quad Shadow will be used, goes back, but that's a sliver of HP, and he'll be taken down easily. First blood for Loki. The Croc, it's Maru, zoned out perfectly and baited the Flicker to grab up the kill.
Exactly. So a good early first blood coming in favor of Lokid right there, which means that the faster that Harith is going to get items, the quicker this match is going to be, which is not good for the side of anti-vegetarian. They really need to play it a little bit safer, a little more strategically if they want to try and win this. But somehow Maru, Ray, and Egri are just not going to allow the Kimi and the Irithel to breed in peace. And there we go, those little skirmishes we can see on the EXP lane as well, just bursting down the Furaga armor. And there's the lasting insanity as well. Late forced to use the Crimson Beacon, which means this is going to be an easy little kill for Egri right there, just securing the kill once the Furaga armor is bursted down.
It's the same old treat, guys. It's like they will be grabbing up those kills with the turtle being into their side. I mean, so much objective specified gameplay from Was the Throne. Every time I'm seeing each and every set, they're playing so beautifully throughout the last two sets and now in this third set as well. But now you can see like, okay, what just happened at the off-cam scene? Loki finds a kill 1v1 against the Irithel. Smack down them. I mean, obviously onto the top, and now he will be grabbing up a lot of gold there. There you go, guys, into the mid. The zone coming in there, Might Knight.
Just wow. And what in the world? 2 kills already for Lokid, that too. Alright into the Irithel both the times. Which means, okay, with the taunt, okay. Oh my goodness, the tectonic charge coming in from the Grok onto 4 people. 2 kills already secured by the side of Was the Throne, going in for more. The wall is very on point. Hayabusa will get the double and Lokid will be finishing it off. A 4-man setup and a 4-man kill secure coming in from the side of Was the Throne.
Every time the cam is coming onto the EXP, I'm seeing there is a fight onto the EXP crab. I don't know what is happening there, but it's every time like Xbox will actually taking out the EXP crab, then it will be the Esma securing it, 20 of course. But what a gameplay at the top side. If I'll break out the play, it's more like they know that Winnie will be not a good, I mean, into the team fight, she will be a hindrance. So Hayabusa just went into the backline, secured the kill there, comes back, secured the double. Grok baited himself. Doesn't matter, he's just a roamer for 4 kills and a macro as well in just 4 minutes of the game. So obviously you are having the upper hand here. You got the 4k goal lead, and now another setup coming in. Quad Shadow, Boogie Shadow kill comes up as well. Mega kill secured. Agri comes back. Lab Passion falls down as well in the hand of Santi in the 1v1 situation in the off cam. Now Was the Throne will be going for that turtle, but before that, Voodoo will be getting down there, executed up, sent into the heaven. by Loki. He got a lot of damage at this point. Does he build out his Holy Crystal already or what?
Just what in the world is happening? Because this one game after the other just looking better and better and better. The odds all in favor of Watch the Throne, I would say. Like, you take away one hero from their hands and they will bring out another and just play so much more and just showcase their skills so much better. And look at Gray once again with the shadows, the AOG as well. But nothing is going to be happening. The Kimi gets melted down in 1 second, and there we go. Giroyu will also be caught out in the middle of 3-4 people right there, and a proper 4-man rotation. And the victory charge, of course, to secure the kill right away.
Take charge into the time, and then it's an official wipeout in just 5 minutes and 45 seconds of the gameplay. So good, so dominating from the side of team Watch the Throne. They're literally showing their pure domination in the very first early phase of the game, just like the last 2 games. And now all the macro, all the first tiers are falling down, with the second tier from the bot as well in a vulnerable position. In the meantime, I'm going to see that it's more like anti-vegetarian cannot flinch at this position, because it's already 15-1 onto the micro. And if you're going to talk about the macro, it's already 4. There you go. The tier 2 onto the top side will be falling down. Holy Blessings are right now in a position to taken out before the Lord can come up. And I believe, like, you don't need the third turtle. You can actually go for the Lord directly, because you do have a massive goal lead, Sarah. That is obviously 10k in just 6 minutes 50 seconds.
Exactly. So 6 minutes to 7 minutes, and it's a 10k goal lead, like you mentioned. And that is actually a huge deal for any team to be securing that too in the semifinals, because your enemy has a very scaling dropped and you do not want to give them any space whatsoever to try and do that scaling for themselves. So anti-vegetarian does not have the space right now, and Team Watch the Throne is not giving them any either. They are simply like targeting down the right targets and taking down the X-Borg at the right moment when he doesn't have the Faraga armor, marking down the Kimi as well as the Iritel. They do not have any purifiers to purify Haya's shadow, and that is what is costing them so much in this game, because the map, all the outer turrets are gone, and another tectonic charge comes in, but it was just a friendly blow because the minions got taken down because of the heavenly shield on the turret. And this time around, both the teams are going to disengage, and Watch the Throne will simply be waiting up for the Lord.
Yeah, that's the best choice you can show here, because you know that it's just the 8 minutes of the gameplay. You do have that massive goal lead into your hand. Just that Lord being taken down by your side, and you can just go for the mighty push, and might be seeing a fastest gameplay of the Throne of Dawn, obviously, in the semi-final stage, because it's more like they're just one Lord away, and they're taking it up easy for Agre. He's taking it solo there, and before that, we're gonna see another fight coming in. AOG comes up, 2-man knock off there, but it's more like an overextension for the Gatot Kacha. He doesn't have the spell at this point. He's getting a lot of hindrance there. The Zaman Force popped up as well. Last Insanity coming in. That doesn't have the Faraga armor. Now the burst coming out for the Harad. Lord being taken down solo by Agre. And now they're going for the mid inhibitor. The quad shadow comes up. It will be connected. The Kimi goes down. Voodoo in the hand of Agre Legendary being picked up. Now it might be the end.
So there is nobody left to clear out the lanes. The Irital cannot sustain all the pressure coming in, and they've only got like 4 members now that the Kacha is back to try and defend up the lanes. And any attempt to try and divert the Lord onto his inhibitor is going to be useless, because the X-Borg has been taken down by the Requiem right into the play, and only Senti will get taken down along with Maru. A double kill for Unadoa right there. Might go in for the triple, but will not be able to sustain that, and has to back off much farther away. Another jump comes in, but this time around Loki has to run away. They do use up the purify and get away from there, but now the heavenly blessing on towards the bottom lane. Inhibitor will be taken down and a wave coming in right away. Realizing that, Team Anti-Vegetarian does try to defend it as much as possible. Hayabusa though has to shadow himself out of that situation, and a little bit of breathing space for Anti-Veg right there as they manage to defend up the first lot of the game.
Bro, I believe they could have done the synchronization. Otherwise, I mean, it was not like they went for the mid rush, but it was needed. The other minions were needed at the point. They couldn't pop out those two inhibitors from the side, and that was the main problem. And Grok do got a lot of vision there, but still he got melted down by the Irithel. And you're giving that Irithel a little bit of spike. It's not a good thing, but beautifully used the Crimson Bacon to dodge it out from the four-man trap down there. Easy way for Lei coming out at the same time. Okay, the zone comes in. Night Flight. I mean, Might Knight is in a very bad position right now, and we're gonna see the AOG. He wants to cast it out to go for the saber before he can do it. He got chunked down there by Chushin. That was so funny. I mean, 3 times he started it, then he got cancelled out every time and got down there as well. They don't have the roamer here. The sustain goes down as well as a picky fight coming in. The quad shadow being not connected. The Piraga armor goes down. He goes back as well. A lot of damage being coming out of the Irithel. He goes down as well. Locate with his 7 force. The Chronos vision is coming there as well as we're going to see that it will be a burst from Lei. Unstoppable being grabbed up there. They're just locking down the base for the last push here. Crimson Bacon comes up and will be the burst as well. Senti grab up the Ru as well as we're going to see the Kathod Kacha being falling down right now. Double Senti. Can it be a triple? Immortality popped up. Loki will be the one securing the godlike there. And with this, the crown is up. There will be the recall spamming coming in as well. And team Watch the Throne will be going into the grand finale of Throne of Dawn Season 1 to play against Team Pick tomorrow into a BO7 series. What a game it was. What a pure domination it was. And it was a ruthless type of gameplay against Team Anti-Vegetarian. Doesn't give them the chance to come back. Doesn't give them the chance to reverse sweep in this BO5 series. Just finish it up as the time being.
Absolutely, just complete massacre in all the 3 games by the side of Watch the Throne, because they have already secured out their positions into the grand finals. Team Watch the Throne in the grand finals of the Throne of Dawn. It's like they were aiming for the throne, watching it right from the beginning of the tournament, and now they have made it up to the top, and they will definitely be looking to secure it for themselves. Quick 3-0 for them in this best of 5 series, a perfect clean sweep. However, big kudos to the side of Anti-Vegetarian as well, because they did do a fantastic job of making it up into the semifinals. They did show up for themselves. They grinded hard, and however, this was it for them. This was the journey that they had so far, and hopefully we will see them come back stronger in future tournaments. And all the best to the team of What's the Throne for the grand finals tomorrow, because it is definitely not going to be easy any longer. We are waiting for a good fight, and best wishes to all our viewers as well. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe the stream, and do not forget to tune in tomorrow with all your popcorn and snacks, because it is going to be a finals
Don't
to
stare
remember.
too long or you'll hurt your eyes.